This isn't just another YouTube video. This is a quiet guide. For the next few minutes, you don't need to compete with anyone. You only need to listen, reflect, and perhaps notice something that has been quietly shaping your happiness for much longer than you ever realized. Imagine that someone offered you two completely different lives, and all you had to do was choose one. In the first life, you earn enough money to live comfortably, your needs are met, and everyone around you earns a little less than you do. In the second life, you earn twice as much. You enjoy a higher standard of living, but everyone around you earns even more than you. At first, the second option sounds obvious because more money should naturally mean a better life. Yet in one famous psychological experiment, a surprisingly large number of people chose the first option instead. They willingly accepted earning less money simply because it allowed them to earn more than the people around them. When we first hear this, it sounds almost impossible to believe because we like to think our decisions are rational. But perhaps that experiment reveals something much deeper than a preference about money. Perhaps it reveals how easily the human mind measures happiness by comparison instead of reality. Most of us begin learning this habit long before we ever earn our first paycheck. As children, we quietly compare our grades, our talents, our appearance, and even the attention we receive without realizing that comparison is slowly becoming part of our identity. There is always the student who seems to learn everything faster than we do, making our own progress feel smaller than it really is. There is always the athlete who appears naturally stronger, making every personal improvement seem almost invisible. There is always someone who looks more attractive, more confident, or somehow more successful, even when we know almost nothing about their real life. Little by little, comparison stops being something we occasionally do. It quietly becomes the lens through which we judge our own worth every single day. Without even noticing it, we stop asking whether our life is improving and begin asking whether it is improving faster than someone else's. That single change is enough to steal an enormous amount of peace from our lives. Think about the last time you felt as though you were falling behind. Were you truly falling behind your own goals, or were you simply standing next to someone who appeared to be moving faster? Those are two completely different experiences, yet our minds often treat them as though they were exactly the same. Comparison quietly changes the meaning of success until success is no longer about growth, but about ranking. No matter how much we achieve, there will always be someone earning more money, receiving more recognition, or appearing to live a more exciting life. The finish line keeps moving because comparison refuses to let it stay where it is. That is why so many people finally reach the dream they chased for years and still feel strangely empty inside. The problem was never the dream itself. The problem was believing that happiness would finally arrive once nobody seemed to be doing better. Real peace begins the moment we step out of someone else's race and return to our own path. Your value has never depended on your position in an invisible ranking that nobody consciously agreed to create. Your value has always been found in something much quieter and much more personal. It lives inside the person you are becoming, not inside the people you are trying to outrun. Comparison is loud because it constantly demands that you look at everyone else before looking at yourself. Growth is almost silent because it simply asks you to become a little wiser, a little kinder, and a little more honest than you were yesterday. One steals your attention every single day. The other patiently transforms your life without asking for applause. Perhaps the greatest freedom is not having more than everyone else. Perhaps the greatest freedom is finally discovering that you never needed to compare your journey with theirs in the first place. So before you compare yourself again, ask one gentle question that may stay with you much longer than this guide. If nobody else could see my life, would I still believe that I don't have enough? Take that question with you. You don't have to answer it today because the most meaningful answers rarely arrive in a hurry. Sometimes the quietest questions become the ones that gently change the way we see ourselves forever. This wasn't just another YouTube video, it was a quiet guide.